I just watched Orbiter 9 about a young woman on a spaceship heading towards a new planet, and the opening scene is just her working out. And I have mixed feelings about the film, but I'm just gonna get this out of the way. This woman is so beautiful. She lifts and it's super hot, and it gave me very Sarah Connor from Terminator 2 vibes. You know that scene when she's doing pull-ups and you're 12 years old and you're scared and aroused at the same time. You start to wonder if those feelings will always go hand in hand. Back to Helena, she's got pretty good form overall, and her push-ups could be a little bit lower, but she's super ripped. There are definitely distinct shoulder striations, and what was I talking about? It's just, she's very attractive. Let's move on. What did I think of this film? Another Netflix original, and unfortunately, it's not a great movie, but it has a lot of cool ideas, and that puts it leagues ahead of the other Netflix films I've seen. Orbiter 9 is about this young woman traveling alone on a ship towards a new planet, a colony that's so far away she'll only arrive when she's in her 40s. She's never seen another human until a tall, dark, handsome engineer arrives, mysteriously from who knows where, to fix the oxygen regulators. And that's the setup. It's a good, solid setup. The problem is everything that happens after. I appreciate what this movie is trying to do because it's trying to tell a more nuanced story about, I'm not sure. At the heart of this film, it's a love story between this space girl and engineer, but there are so many different ideas floating around. There's our protagonist, and she finds out her world isn't quite what it seems. There's the engineer who, I don't really know what he's thinking, but he's handsome and mysterious enough that I assume he's thinking about something. Then there's also a shadowy organization who thinks they are doing what's best, but comes across as evil or a shadowy organization. And that's a little bit more generic. The world they live in is an interesting future. It's got little tidbits of cool technology, but it's not completely fleshed out. There are some issues that are happening and are pressing, but there's just not enough to make us feel that much tension. By the time a proper ticking time bomb plot point is introduced, we don't really care anymore. It takes a pretty muddled second act to finally get to the point where we know where the story is going. They're going to fall in love and forces are going to try to keep them apart. They should have started that bit earlier. The journey it's just not as compelling as it could have been. My thoughts are a little bit disjointed, but that's how I felt watching this movie. This film reminded me of Passengers, the sci-fi love film with Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt, also about kind of star-crossed lovers. With Passengers, we had a simpler film that could have been made better if they reordered certain scenes. With this film, I think a lot could have been trimmed. And also the stakes should be upped earlier so there's a sense of urgency. I understand that's not the film they were trying to make with Orbiter 9. It seems like they wanted to make something more meditative and deep, but there's a very, very fine line when you're trying to make a more artsy film, and this film just gets a little slow and confusing. Again, I like the leads. They're very pretty, both of them, and they give good performances. Unfortunately, it's hard to discern what exactly this story is trying to say. There's just too many ideas being thrown around. Overall, I give this film a C+. It's a good attempt, but they wander too much along the way. If you enjoy sci-fi films, if you enjoy love stories, I think you will have a decent time in this movie, but you might be upset at not getting more. Orbiter 9 is available to watch right now on Netflix. What's your favorite sci-fi romantic film? Let me know. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you all next time.